2.5 stars. I'm joined by
Jason
and Kelly, or not Kelly.
Erik. You know that you're half dwarf, right?
I think
What if I'm
Erik,
the Brad Pitt of dwarf kind?
Kelly, his wife, fucked a lot.
What's up, guys? It's Steve. I had hair when I was younger.
Like, watch this, guys. I'm gonna totally make them do it. Oh!
Jeez.
What's up, guys? It's Steve with Hap Gaming, and welcome back to another 2.5 stars. I'm joined by
Erik.
And Kelly.
And this week we watched GoldenEye, directed by Martin Campbell, written by Ian Fleming and Michael France, starring Pierce Brosnan, Sean Bean, and Isabella Scorupco. We're going to go with that one. IMDb synopsis. Years after a friend and fellow 00 agent is killed on a joint mission, a secret space-based weapon program known as GoldenEye is stolen. James Bond sets out to stop a Russian crime syndicate from using the weapon. So what'd you guys think?
Yikes, IMDb was rough.
Yeah, it wasn't written very well. Besides my normal shitty reading, it just wasn't written very well, so...
So this might be the second. No, I don't think I've. Okay, so I've seen parts of a Daniel Craig. I think it was Casino Royale.
Yes.
Right.
Uh-huh.
I've seen parts of that. That's the only semi-modern James Bond I've seen. This sucker's action was so ridiculous. I was like, oh my god, he's gonna jump off of. He's gonna go faster than a plane with the engine on. Down.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen. Like, I was expecting a gadget to make it work, but he didn't. He just fell faster than a plane that had the engine on pulling it. Like,
I know.
You didn't know that besides the, with the 00 designation, besides with him getting a license to kill, he also gets a license to ignore gravity. So he can just go faster and, wind resistance and all that stuff. He can just go faster than it all. It doesn't matter.
I mean, why didn't he just float away then? Like, that would have been the move. Just float off.
Because that wouldn't be as fast as just, I don't know. He's not Superman.
Yeah.
Well,
he can
he's
only fall really
because
fast.
he has like good skills in gymnastics. He's just holding on to helicopters and stuff for longer than humanly possible.
Yeah, his grip strength is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, I've listened to a lot of Joe Rogan podcasts talking about grip strength. This guy's forearms would be the size, like they would make Popeye look so small with the being able to realistically hang on to stuff this long.
I feel like the way to make it more realistic is if they just decided, okay, so the reason that James Bond looks different all the time, it's because he's a robot and we just like have a new model of robot that comes out every, 20, 30 years.
That's what explains it.
Yeah, that would be the only way to explain this. I mean, Q could do that shit. He could definitely make a robot and just have him be James Bond all over the place.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean that, then the lady in here, what's her name? Famke Janssen, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She was like, so it's really funny. Kelly goes, boy, she looks like that Famke Janssen lady. I'm like, that is her. And she's like, what? I'm like, yeah, that's obviously her. And,
Well, I didn't know. The first thing I ever seen her in, it was X-Men in, 2000 something. 2000, I think it was.
yeah.
So
And then we
thought she was new at that
most
point.
recently seen her a lot in that Hemlock Grove show.
Right.
And, she looks a little older in that.
Yeah.
Whereas in this, she looks like a 20-year-old or something.
Yeah. Well, I first said she looked like that. I think her name was Rose Byrne. She's in the Insidious and all that.
Yeah.
The wife in that. But then Eric's like, no, it looks nothing like her. And then I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
it
she looks
didn't
like
look
somebody
her
else. I'm like,
ultimately.
oh, and it looks like her. Well, I guess I was right.
Yeah. And then anyway, so I was like, this lady's a psycho.
Yeah.
I mean, then she's just like at the beginning, right? She's crushing that guy she's doing it with.
uh-huh.
And I kept thinking to myself, why doesn't he just punch her in the face? Her face is right there. He could poke her eyeball out. Instead, he's just like maybe the orgasm she was giving him was so intense that he's just like,
It made him dumb. It made him stupid.
And then he just his brain just aneurysmed.
Yep.
From the squeezing of the wiener.
Oh man.
So I mean, anyway, so I don't know. I think it's been a long time since I've seen a James Bond movie, and I guess this is what they're like. Now I could.
They really aren't okay. So if you watch a Daniel Craig one, it's not like this. I mean, this was way campier than what Daniel Craig's Bond is. And I mean, granted, the older ones are campy. Don't get me wrong. You know, Sean Connery, Timothy Dalton, those are fucking campy also, and they're more This is more similar to those older ones, but those older ones didn't have as much action as this one does because this is a newer movie. You know, older films just don't blow stuff up as much as newer films usually.
Right.
It's not like 100%. You know, there are old movies that blow shit up all the fucking time, but for the most part, newer movies will blow stuff up way more than.
Like
80s
and 90s were known for that.
Yeah, like a satellite, like just a big piece of metal in the air that apparently had explosives on it. Also, that for some reason it blew up. So you know, it didn't have anything else attached to it. So, but yeah. I think Daniel Craig's are quite a bit more serious. They still have the some of the goofball stuff, but it's not. I mean, Casino Royale I think is excellent. I think it's a really well done movie. Besides it being a James Bond movie, I think it's a well done movie. It was just, you know, like Bond actually gets his fucking ass kicked a lot, where Brosnan, I think, maybe a couple of times gets hit once or twice, and then that's it, you know. And then he's fine afterwards.
Beating his ass basically,
but he was fine afterwards still. So
yeah, well, I mean that's like fake movie stuff.
Yeah.
You know? It's like you watch Arnold Schwarzenegger in like I think it was Red Heat or something, and he fights this other giant guy, and they both hit each other, and there's no cuts.
Yeah,
and it's like,
what?
Maybe
really?
It's like maybe a movie guy should see a real fist fight.
Well, especially when you get two big guys together, you're telling me they're not gonna be any damage whatsoever.
They couldn't afford the makeup
were they
artist
using
to
feathers. You know,
they couldn't afford the makeup for it.
Yeah,
maybe.
I mean, you know, you could like duck the punch or something. Like people can do that, but like, you know.
Yeah, I'm convinced that Bond is using an aimbot in this because he hits everything he shoots at, and then he's also lag switching because nothing can hit him. So
nice.
Yeah, I know he was double peeking, and it just reminded me of all the Dr. Disrespect videos where he's standing up and he's peeking around stuff, and he's like, "Yeah, just keep peeking around the same side. Just keep peeking. I'm gonna kill you, punk," or whatever he says.
Yeah,
and it's like James Bond would get his ass kicked in PUBG by Dr. Disrespect.
Man.
I mean, it's funny because like I was telling Kelly, I really wish that Pierce Brosnan was in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So I, you know, at the end there, I could have been like, "Oh, look, Ned Stark's kicking, you know, Alfred Lannister's ass." You know, like I feel like I really wish I had a time machine and I could have just talked to him. No, you got to have Tywin's brother Alfred, played by Pierce Brosnan. He's got to be a real piece of shit too. And he can get killed, and then, you know, right around the same time Ned Stark gets killed, and we can be like, "Oh, look, the 007 and 006."
It'll be the guy that Ned's killing as he gets stabbed in the back of the fucking leg.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I you know, it's kind of sad that Ned had to die that quick.
Yeah,
but that's the book, so it's nice.
Well, I mean, if you cast Sean Bean in anything, you got to kill him pretty quick. So.
Well, yeah, you know, when Erik called it, because of course he hasn't seen this movie, he's like, you know, that's Sean Bean. He's gonna like die in this, and he like died. Well, we thought at first, like pretty right away, and then he's back, but he still died in it.
Yeah, I mean, he basically dies twice in this movie. He gets a double, you know.
I know. Yeah. Right.
Oh man.
I mean, I don't know how he survived, and then it's just these kind of movies are weird. They always are like, "Oh, come on." There's a lot of that for me. I'm watching them like, "Oh, come on."
Yeah.
The funny part was though the train and the tank.
The tank,
like,
yeah.
All I could think of was GTA.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, "There's Eric's tunnel."
Damage.
I was like, "There's Eric's tunnel. Look at that shit."
Yeah, he's like, "I'm gonna take the tank into the tunnel. I'll be able to kick this train's ass." And that's one thing about GTA. I wish you could kill the train,
Yeah.
especially with like a tank shooting it a few times.
I gotta tell you, I fucking love the tank scene in this movie. I just like he's just fucking driving through the town. Those cops are like trying to like get in front of him and slow him down. It's like, it's a fucking tank, dude. What are you gonna do? There's nothing you can stop him with those fucking little cars. He's just
No.
plowing through buildings and stuff. And then when they get into the train, it just made me think like he was trying to be sneaky on the bridge because it like slowly pulls up. Like he's like, I'm sneaky. Nobody sees me.
Yeah.
I'm just like fucking stupid.
Those things are so fucking loud.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just like, blah, you know. It's pretty funny.
Oh man.
He just shoots the train,
Yeah.
and the train's like, "I'm still coming, bitch." You know, and I don't know. I feel like it would have done a lot more damage to that than the train.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, it's supposed to be
they're
an
made to shoot through tanks,
it's
right?
it's supposed to be an armored train, but even if it didn't blow the whole fucking front end up, which it should have, it would have fucking derailed it at that point, not after it ran into the fucking tank. You know, it would have already been derailed by the time it hit the tank. I think the concussive would have just like popped it up off those tracks. So
Yeah, it would have done something more than just nothing.
yeah.
I mean, all it has to do is just bounce it enough to derail it a little bit, and then
Yeah.
boom, it's gone. You know, and yeah, I mean, hopefully this is like not the worst James Bond, but I would be happy if it wasn't in the top 5 James Bonds, because then the other ones we watch, I'll be like, oh, this was, because like I said, Casino Royale, it seemed like was pretty good.
Yeah, 'cause you
Casino
watched this,
Royale was really good. Shit, I'm trying to remember the other ones of Craig's fucking movie stuff. Let's see. Tomorrow Never Dies, I believe, is the one that that's another Pierce Brosnan one. That's the one I think with the stealth ship, and it was pretty dumb. I think Brosnan's movies are pretty dumb, but like the whole thing is like he's the Bond from when we were kids. You know, like he was the
Right.
one you know, for our whole childhood and
Good job
stuff.
being James Bond. It's like just the writers are just like
Yeah.
taking a dive.
Yeah, it's like, you want to see the most ridiculous thing ever? Like I was telling Eric, I don't know what part. Do you remember, Eric, when they were doing something and like you don't really even see that in spoofs or movies that make
It
fun
was the
of.
part where he was falling faster.
Oh,
than
that's
the
what I thought. Yeah,
airplane.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, this belongs in Loaded Weapon or
Awesome Powers.
Yeah, or Hot Shots or
I
whatever.
don't even think Austin Powers is anything that ridiculous.
Yeah,
I was like, what? Save that for those kind of movies. I mean, the whole time it was hard for me not to picture Austin Powers in it because.
Stanley, go play.
Well, yeah,
I don't
there is
know.
some hokey shit in this thing that was very Austin Powers-y.
Yeah.
You know, the
Not to
one-liners
mention
and stuff
Hagrid
like
was in
that.
it.
Yeah, Hagrid was there.
Well, Hagrid's twin brother, Bagrid.
Hagrid, his Russian twin brother.
Well, I mean, that's the deal. Hagrid's a Russian sleeper agent the whole time.
Well, they got
Son of a
separated
bitch.
at birth. I mean, of course, someone can be Russian.
Oh, good call.
I
Yeah,
know, yeah.
his
That's all
mom
it takes.
had twins because she was a giant.
Yeah.
So she sneezed, and Bagrid just flew off.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, and he's a Muggle.
No, dude.
No, not a Muggle.
He'd be
What's
a
it called?
squib. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's a squib. So he never knew about it. Nobody showed up and was like, "You're a wizard, Bagrid."
All right, I better go.
All right.
I'll tell Eric my pick.
Okay.
Yeah, so the poor James Bond, he's taken a lot of abuse.
Let's see, was that? Yeah, so Die Another Day, I think, is the newspaper one. I'm pretty sure that's the stealth ship one. And that was stupid. And then he also did The World Is Not Enough. And then, did I say Die Another Day the first time? I meant Tomorrow Never Dies. And then Die Another Day is his last one. That's the one with, what's her name? Halle Berry is the Bond girl. So,
Yeah. Well, the Bond girl in this, the computer programmer lady.
yeah.
I kept going like, man, she looks familiar. I've seen her before. Man, she looks familiar. So then I'm looking at her and I'm like, no, she just reminds me of Charlize Theron. That's
Yeah.
all it is.
Like
She just reminds me of
from the
her.
Fast and the Furious stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or from what was that? The Devil's Advocate.
God,
So
it's been a long
you never seen that one with Al Pacino?
I don't think I've ever watched it one. Man.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a weird movie,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, and he's just like going off. It's actually a pretty good movie. There was like a thing there in the theater where they had like End of Days with Arnold Schwarzenegger and then Devil's Advocate, and I think there was another one where they had like a lot of religious themes in it,
Yeah.
and it was like,
Was that a
what are we
Constantine
doing?
year?
Yeah, I don't know, it was around there somewhere. The Devil's Advocate might be a little older than that. It's pretty good though. So I enjoyed it. My dad really liked it,
Yeah.
so he'd turn it on all the time.
Yeah. So
And,
Devil's Advocate 97, Into Days was 99. And Constantine was 2005.
yeah, so there was at least I think there was a few more around there that were kind of like that, the End of Days and the other one. I can't remember what they were called.
You know, I don't
But-
think I ever watched Into Days either.
Really?
Yeah. And I fucking
It's
love
not a bad
Schwarzenegger
movie.
movies.
Yeah, it's definitely better than Eraser.
Yeah.
It's longer, and he plays like way more of a fucked up guy, which I thought Arnie always did like a really good job playing like a really flawed hero,
Yeah.
you know. So
Streaming.
I don't
movie.
know.
Ooh, it's on Hulu.
So-
I can maybe watch it there.
Yeah,
There we go. Anyways.
yeah. So I mean, it's pretty good. I like those movies. This
Yeah.
this movie was like, I mean, I enjoyed it. It's just like if I would have known that it would have been less serious. No, I don't know if that's the right word, but the way it is,
Just campy.
ahead of time, then I think I would have enjoyed it more, because instead I was like, what the hell's going on? And and it's like the Sean Connery movies had like some goofy stuff, but it wasn't like he dives off a fucking cliff faster than an air. I mean, shit, just the bungee cord thing seemed ridiculous to me.
Well, I had a problem with the bungee cord thing because, like, on a dam, the bottom part of the dam usually comes out quite a bit.
Correct.
So jumping
Yes.
even off of a platform off the top of it, you're still probably going to smash right into the side of the dam.
Correct. You're just doming yourself.
Yeah. So
So-
I actually had to rewind that to see how he jumped off of it. I was like, all right, but he like maybe if there's like a plank going out further from that and that's what he was attached to, I'll give you that.
No,
but he was
just
just like
moving
a
magic.
platform that was just a little bit out from the top of that thing. And then a dam usually is like, 3 or 4 times wider than the top or something like that. So what the fuck? And then
Yeah, it's movie magic, man.
and then somehow
just- he
somehow nobody hears him when he gets into the vents climbing around,
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, come on.
You know what I really want to see now? I want to see a movie where they climb into the vents. Actually, a Sunny would be perfect. Where they climb into the vents and they think they're being sneaky. And you can see everybody in the office or the place that they're at looking around going, is somebody in the fucking vents?
There was
Oh my God, somebody's in
there-
the vents.
somebody did that.
Well, Zorn kind of did it because remember he was crawling through the vent with a sword sticking through.
Yeah, it was like
the
cutting
vent,
through the bottom
and he
of
was
it. Yeah.
just cutting through the whole fucking roof. He's like, God damn, backing up is really hard, and his sword's just cutting the fuck out of everything.
Yeah, because like Boondock
Uh,
Saints, they were fine until they got to the vent and they fell out of it. But they were, apparently super silent, even though it was, 2 people in a vent that wouldn't really hold one. And then there was another one that I remember seeing, and they like fell through the whole fucking thing. Oh, like fucking what's it called? Die Hard does that, the vent thing. Definitely would have heard,
Yeah,
John McClane slithering through the vents up there. So, I don't know. It's just funny.
I mean,
But-
those things are like perfect sound tunnels.
Yeah, They're all metal and just not insulated, at least not
Yeah.
enough. Well, I mean, shit, even if they were insulated, it doesn't matter. There's openings to different rooms in the thing. They may
Yeah.
be insulated right above your head, but anybody in the room where the vent opens up to is gonna hear everything going on in there. Plus, plus, I'm gonna guarantee James Bond is fucking just slathered in fucking Axe body spray or whatever the fuck, British spy man is using, and it probably just fucking wafts right through that fucking vent.
Just Irish Spring.
Yeah. Damn it. Oh man.
He's just like, somebody's like, the Russian guy's like, do you smell fucking Irish Spring?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Oh man.
Do you smell? Why the hell's the toilet smell like Irish Spring?
Fucking
Somebody
weird.
smuggling Irish Spring in their butt?
That's that fucking Boris guy. He's fucking weird.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, jeez.
Shit.
Kelly, can I have some water? I'm really thirsty. Yeah, so what was I gonna say? Oh man.
It's definitely been said before, but Bond is the worst fucking spy in the history of spies, though, because everybody knows who the fuck he is. Like,
Yeah.
if you're a spy, nobody's supposed to know you were there or know anything, so supposed to sneak in
What's
and
funny
sneak back
is
out.
I actually get Archer a lot more now.
Yeah.
And I feel like Archer has less ridiculous stuff than this does.
Oh man.
I was like, wait a second, how the hell is Archer more realistic, a cartoon, than a movie?
Well, and I think like some of the stuff that Archer tries to do, that's why he gets hurt, because he tries shit from movies and it totally doesn't work because he's working more on like real world physics instead of movie physics kind of thing, where slamming through a window, you're gonna get all cut up and shit, and it fucking hurts to get shot. You're not going to dodge 11 million bullets from all the soldiers in the fucking Russian army shooting at you at once.
Well, I mean, only the Empire is so precise.
Damn it. They needed some Tusken Raiders in there. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool to see. I just wish there was more Star Wars stuff with like just regular people, not any Jedi stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's why the Mandalorian was doing so well, and I'm hoping that they don't fuck that up with next season with all the shit they're announcing. So,
I'm pretty sure that what's going to happen is they're going to add some stuff, and we're all going to be like, "Why is this relevant to the story?"
Yeah,
I don't want to look at this. And then you're just going to watch the writing just like take a giant shit. And it'll just be like watching, non sequitur lightsaber fights. And it's like, I don't want to see this.
Yeah, it's like we don't really need it. We have what's it called? We've got Obi-Wan movie or TV show coming out. We can throw the lightsaber fights there. When Ahsoka shows up, she can show up for one fucking episode if that's what we're going to do. Kind of what we did in the last season, a character shows up once, maybe twice. A couple of the, like Kara and Grease both showed up, and the what's the little dude guy? What's the Ugnaughts name? Nick Nolte's character. He shows up a couple times too. But for the most part, there was like he would go to a planet and be a new guy or new person he'd meet up with, and then another planet and be a new person. So if he does that, and like Ahsoka shows up once because I know she's supposed to be in the thing. I know Boba Fett's supposed to show up, or Boba Fett's armor, because the way the lore works, it's not Boba Fett in that armor. Even though,
so far it looks like they've cast a lady to play Boba Fett,
and
the other guy to play Boba Fett. So I'm like, I'm confused.
So I heard that Oliphant was supposed to be playing the guy who wears the armor.
Yeah,
because he's supposed to be God damn it, I can't remember his name.
Well,
right
he's
now.
a real character, though. It's like he's not Boba Fett. He's like a guy who wears his armor.
Yeah, he's a guy. He's basically he was a slave to one of the Hutts. He broke loose of that, and then basically was running around. He found a fucking blown up a sand crawler. Found the armor in some case. It was kind of fucked up and burned. because the whatever happened with the Sarlacc. He also found the Sarlacc that was blown up, that looked like it was blown up from the inside. So there's theories of either Boba Fett got out of it, blowing himself out of there, or I mean, come on, the fucking Jawas know how to deal with the Sarlacc. They're definitely gonna have bombs that just toss into its mouth to blow the fucker up. So.
Yeah, Boba Fett's like slowly, he's like almost dead, and then
Yeah.
he sees like this bomb, and he's like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah. So that guy basically gets the armor, becomes the sheriff or the lawkeeper of this town called Freetown on Tatooine, and ends up actually teaming with Tusken Raiders, like promising them water, I think. And so the Raiders will help them deal with like the remnants of the Empire and other shit like that in the huts. So that's who's I'm thinking is supposed to be in that armor. But then also, what's his name? Timura.
The original one,
Yeah.
Jango Fett.
Jango Fett is supposed to be coming back, but he could be like a fucking a flashback, with that kind of thing. So he doesn't have to be, because I'm fine with Boba being dead. I mean, whatever, especially since we know that he doesn't have the armor anymore. He doesn't really, he's not. There's no iconic thing there. It doesn't really matter. So.
I mean, they could fuck the whole thing up a lot by having Ahsoka be too big of a role. Like, here's what I hope happens, right? I hope he decides somewhere near the end of the season he's going to get the Darksaber from that guy, from the Moff guy. So he gets this plan together. He gets all of his guys, his buddies, and they're like, "Yeah, we're going to fucking do this." So they go there and they attack this guy, and then this guy kicks the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And he's about to kill him, and then Ahsoka pops out of somewhere and just cuts his head off with her lightsaber, takes the Darksaber and wanders off, and he's just like, "Shit."
That would be totally fine. That would be totally fine.
And then she just bails. She's like, "I'm out." And maybe she even flips off Baby Yoda. She's like, "Fuck that guy."
Yeah, because I've also I've also heard stuff where they're going to be doing a an Ezra movie with the kid from Rebels. So that would be cool, because if they go Ezra, we might see Thrawn in that, and then him and Ahsoka could have their own TV show, and that'd be totally fine there. So they just need to split. They need to make sure that they don't fucking overforce, put too much of the Force into the fucking Mandalorian thing, because they did it. They had a nice balance in the first season.
Yeah,
and they need to not fuck it up.
This is a fucking space western.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a fucking space western. That's what everybody wants to see.
Yeah, keep your space wizards
western
as much out of it as you can.
Yeah, let's just take like stories from like the Dark Tower and all the classic westerns and keep redoing them in the Star Wars universe.
Because it's the only way we're gonna get a Dark Tower TV show that's decent.
Yeah, no shit. I mean, how they fucked that one up. Oh yeah, hey, well, the movie that we crammed 8 books into a disjointed, awkward movie, and it didn't really do that well. Fuck, man. That means that the well thought out TV show won't do worth a shit.
Yeah.
And it's like the same logic. I mean, I'm glad they didn't cancel The Mandalorian because the last Star Wars movie didn't do so hot.
Yeah, well, it's the same logic with the Solo thing. Like, they felt it bombed, and it still did all right, and I think it was a decent movie. And it set up a really cool part that we could add more Darth Maul and live action stuff, but they kind of threw that away because they didn't feel it did as well. So
that should have just been a TV series.
Oh, that would have been totally fine. God, it would have been so good.
That is a TV series would have been awesome.
Yeah,
because once again, it's not a space wizard show. What it would have been is a space smuggler show. So a space pirate show.
Yeah.
We'd be watching space pirates.
We'd be watching Firefly again.
Yeah.
And I'd be fine with that. With
Wookiee.
A
semi less charismatic Han Solo instead of Nathan Fillion.
Yeah.
Which would have been just fine. Because he wasn't too much worse.
Yeah.
I mean, and they could have had like Darth Maul in there, and he could have been fucking with them. That'd have been cool.
Yeah.
That would have been great. I would have been real happy with that. And you could have seen like Han Solo smuggling stuff, do some more like Lando stuff. It'd be great. We could see like the Kessel Run, all that stuff.
We kind of saw we already saw the Kessel Run.
Oh, that's right.
But we would
I mean,
see
just
we,
more
we might
stuff
we might
like
even
that.
see the near the end of the series we see the one where the run where he has to dump the supplies when he's working with Jabba, see
Yeah,
what leads to his whole thing. So
there you go. That'd be great. They could do that. That would have been a great show.
yeah,
But what did they do? They tried to jam in, like, I think the problem is they don't seem to realize people like the TV shows better than the movies now.
yeah,
Because in the past, like, here's the thing, in the past, you couldn't have done that because NBC would play part of the show and then they'd move the time around and then they couldn't have any sex or violence
yeah.
really
It
on the
get
TV.
preempted.
Yeah, there's so much stuff, and then you have to like watch it at a certain time. Now, what you're watching are like little like
You're watching
long.
hour-long movies every
Yeah,
week,
you're
kind of thing.
watching movies with a shitload more filler in it that each have their own little story, and then you get to feel like you're a lot like look at Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, they did a pretty good job with that. You felt like you knew the characters, you kind of seen their character arcs. There's a lot of stuff they could do. And I mean, I want to see a space smuggling show. Wouldn't that be cool? You see him like trying to dick with the Empire all the time and you know,
oh, that'd be
doing
awesome.
ballsy stuff.
Yeah, that'd be
Be
fucking
great.
awesome. Yeah.
You know,
Um,
have little cameos from like old Obi-Wan in there, like in the background, where they just don't know each other yet.
well, he could
You
just
know?
come across. He could come across fucking Ewan McGregor on the
Yeah, that's what I'm
on
saying.
Tatooine and stuff like that. So
Yeah, where they don't really interact,
yeah,
but you see Obi-Wan walking in the background, and you're like, holy shit,
yeah.
it's Obi-Wan right there.
Oh man. So I don't know.
You know?
We'll see what they do. I guess with the rest of the shows they're gonna do. Hopefully, it's all right.
Yeah. I mean, let's just hope that they can make the show that,
Yeah.
that the world doesn't just completely finish taking a shit because they need to wait till after Starlink finishes getting launched so that so everybody can still have internet
They just
before
launched
they burn the
another.
rest of the world down. Like I told Kelly, the odds of us living through another Great Depression, I think it's just at some point during our life are probably at like 70% sometime in the next like 20, 30 years, probably sooner than that. But I mean, it's rough. So luckily they still made movies throughout the last one though, didn't they?
Oh
Did I
yeah.
lose you?
Yeah. No, I'm
Oh,
here.
good.
I'm here.
Good.
Yeah, they did. There's definitely movies in the 30s and shit like that. Didn't fucking King Kong come out in the 30s?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, Howard Hughes pissed a shitload of money away making that airplane movie during the Depression.
Spruce Goose
Yeah.
stuff.
No, that was an airplane contract he had with the guys of World War II. He made a movie. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like about World War I fighter pilots, and I can't remember the name of it now. Anyways, so it's if you watch the movie The Aviator, there's a scene in it where he's got Bilbo Baggins, and he's like a weather guy, and then they finally get to film the movie, and he's got all these people working for him, and it's just bombing, like he's just pissing away a ton of fucking money having them all there.
Yeah.
And his tool company is like basically paying the way for everything. I like that movie. It's pretty interesting because you just watch this guy who's like half crazy still be successful. So
Yeah, Walt Disney was doing a lot of stuff. Wizard of Oz, 42nd Street. Is that like Miracle? No, that's a different thing. It's definitely a different thing. That's what is this movie about? Whatever. It's a musical of some sort. Gone with the Wind was also that time, so quite a few comedies. I mean, you had to have something to fucking laugh at when you didn't know if you were going to be able to eat.
Yeah, I mean,
So.
I just hope that this depression's not super bad. you
Yeah.
know. I mean, it's like right now, I think there's even still protesting and riots going on. It's like, just tell everybody they can go back to work.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, between all that stuff, everybody who's going to be sick is sick now. So just keep the elderly people and the at-risk people quarantined for right now, and then just tell everybody else, if you want to risk it, come on out. And
Put your fucking
I
mask
mean,
on.
because we're about to be in the point where it's like, I don't have enough money. Because I mean, like Elon Musk was on something, and he's like, yeah, if nobody makes any stuff, you don't have any stuff, and you can't just give money to buy stuff that isn't there. And like, when's the government going to run out of money for unemployment?
I'm pretty sure they already have.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, they're paying everybody, like paying people who normally don't qualify for maximum unemployment, like $600 a week.
Yeah.
And a bunch of those people don't want to go back to work. One thing that is actually, pretty nice about UBI, the whole concept of, universal basic income, is like, the government's not going to be able to get away with anything. Because if you look at all these people right now who are getting money so that they're like, bases are covered, and then they're out protesting, like, the government's going to have to seriously watch its ass.
Yeah.
Because everybody's going to be like, oh, you fucked up, it's time to burn it all down again. And so that's kind of like a nice, I don't know, I think it's nice, because I don't think the government should be telling me what to do, because they can't run my life. Like, that's the thing, that in my opinion, the best person to run your life is you.
Yeah.
It's not somebody else. So other than like doing stuff that's harming other people with like real harm, they should just leave. I mean, as long as you're not doing that, they shouldn't interfere with you. That's just my opinion on it, though.
Yeah.
And it's like James Bond, right? Like, why can't we all just do whatever James Bond does without all the killing? Like, I want to break into a government facility, climb around and take pictures, and then bang really hot chicks.
Eric, could you imagine us trying to fucking get through the vents? Come on, man. There's no fucking way. There's gonna be like hair floating through the fucking vents just because I shed all the time.
If we managed to crawl through some vents and manage to not get stuck, you know what happened to us, dude? Is you would get stuck. We would both end up picking the wrong fucking vent system and being the heater ducts instead of
be sweating so fucking much.
The AC ducts.
Yeah.
Like, we're in there, and I'm like, I don't want to leave. And
I'm coming all right with this.
You're like, what do you mean? I'm like, let's just stay here.
Yeah.
We can sneak down and steal food, and they'll think we're dead. Like, then after we get done in like a week, we can get out. And you're like, well, where are we gonna shit? I'm like, I haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah.
We're just like, find a vent that's like over over a urinal, right? And you're just like, is anybody coming? No. All right, go. And then somebody keeps walking in. Who the hell's shitting in the urinals?
Who keeps fucking doing this? This is bullshit.
Somebody keeps shitting in the urinals. Or even worse, we have a long stick and we just upper decker the toilet.
God damn it.
Man. Like, the toilet stops working and there's like 5 turds in there, and they're just like, who the fuck is doing this?
Yeah, what's gonna happen? They just fucking out of order that toilet and never get fixed, and we just be stuck with a vent with really gross shit in it. So
yeah,
we'd have to move our vent to a new one.
We just get construction paper and tape over it so the stink can't come up.
God damn it. Oh fuck.
Oh, that's really funny.
Oh, damn it.
I could just see that poor lady trying to squeeze me to death with her legs.
God damn it.
I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I'd just be like, and when I realized what she'd be doing, I'd be like, oh, I can't breathe. Oh, hold on. I'm going to wiggle around. Oh,
Damn it, dude.
I can't breathe still. And she's like, what the hell? How long can this fucking guy hold his breath?
Oh man. You know that Bond's got just fucking the most STDs ever. He's just
I
spreading
know.
that shit everybody knows where he went because every time he's, stayed somewhere, the pharmacy gets just so many more fucking prescriptions for fucking STD antibiotics and shit, so it's like,
You know,
man.
that sucks that they've never figured out how to get rid of STDs.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's one of those things. It's like, all right, here's a funny thing, right? There's no like fighting TDs, right? There's no just like fighting transmitted diseases that you only get from fighting.
Okay, now I get what
It's
you mean.
just
Yes.
sex.
Yeah.
Okay, like sex is the only activity. There's no eating TDs either, where you transmit to the other person with eating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like sex, of course, there's bumps on your ding dong, sores on your ding dong, all that stuff. Somehow we've got room for that. It's like, son of a gun. Couldn't we have like sweet, awesome, like salamander genes down there, where it just like kick all that stuff? Damn it. Some scientist needs to figure that shit out. Quit screwing around with stupid stuff like cancer.
God damn it, Eric.
Actually, the worst part is I think most of them are screwing around with stupid stuff like beauty products and whatnot. I don't think hardly and fucking opiate research.
Because it's where the money is, man.
I would be willing to bet like I don't have any money. Let's just say we had $1 gentleman's bet. I would totally bet that they spent more money researching. First of all, more money doing advertising, and then way less than that for research for like opiates. And that's probably like the thing they researched the most.
Yeah.
Something stupid like that. And guess what? They already figured out how to make that a long time ago. It's called heroin, or morphine. Like, just fucking make it legal and let people deal with it. If they're gonna do that stuff, we don't need to like make them do all the crap to deal with that crap. Could you imagine that, having a prescription, that stuff, and you have a drug addiction? That sucks.
Yeah.
Because like at that point, you're probably buying it. I don't know. I watched this documentary. What the hell is it called? No idea. But it was about this guy whose kid, I think, overdosed or something. And so then he was like telling people to get off of the
Is it the pharmacist one on
Netflix?
Yeah,
it was that one.
Yeah.
And then he exposes this lady who's just writing prescriptions. She's just like, she has she just writes prescriptions all day long, every day. And then her nurses just hand out prescriptions.
Yeah.
They're just like, how much do you want? Yep, here you go. Give me money. And that's it.
Yeah.
And
it's fucked up.
It's just, you could just have legal stuff and then nobody has to do any of that crap. And
So,
then there's like, how many less people would be in jail if they legalized all that stuff?
There'd be a hell of a lot. There's a lot of drug crime in jail.
Yeah. That'd be weird. The whole because I think the United States has more people in jail per capita than like Russia, maybe even China. I mean, China just shoots the people. They're just like, we heard what you said about the teddy bear, or no, Pooh Bear. Boom, they waste you right there.
So in 2016, about 200,000 of the 1.3 million people in the United States were in jail for drug offenses.
Holy shit, there's only like 300. How many people are in jail total?
It was like 1.5 million. 1.3 million.
200,000?
200,000 in there for drug offenses. This is in state jails. This is in state jails though, so.
Oh, yeah. A lot of those drugs are federal stuff.
Yeah. I'm trying to get other stuff here, but
ancillary crimes like, robbing a drug dealer, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just silly. It's like, who cares? You're not going to stop anybody from doing it. Nobody in the history of the world's been like, I really love some meth, but I could go to jail if I do it, so I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
That's not how it works. But whatever. It'd be funny? They need to make a new type of James Bond where he's a drug addict. But
so
it's not James Bond.
Are you saying you want
like,
just a Sherlock Holmes, another Sherlock Holmes movie?
I don't know. I kind of want to see like 009 or something where he's just like fucked up.
Just like Sherlock, but as a spy instead of a detective.
Yeah, no, I mean, I want to see Russell Brand trying to be a 007 guy. But
So okay, what we need is another Austin
spiritual-
Powers movie, and we have Russell
Yeah.
Brand as the another spy in the thing.
Yeah, it's basically an Austin Powers type movie, but slightly more serious. And the guy has a drug problem, and there's just, how like they did with that Dudley Moore. I think that's what it's called. It's a Dudley Moore movie. Russell Brand did it later. It's a guy's name.
Arthur.
Arthur, yeah. Well, they
Yeah.
could do that, but instead of being a drunk, have it be like a James Bond type thing, but he's a druggie, and then just make it funny.
Yeah.
Because, like he could even like mushrooms are funny. I don't think anybody's a mushroom addict, but you get my point. Like it would just be funny to see like James Bond just get lit up with some mushrooms.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of those people that are pretty comical to watch. So
So besides the tank part in this movie, one of my other favorite parts of this movie is when Bond is down talking to Q and all the people are testing the devices in the fucking basement of that thing and just flying across the room behind him. Just, like fucking the dude testing the airbag and just gets flung across the fucking room. They blow up the dummy. Just random shit like that, and fucking, Q's like, God, these guys are basically, you can see he's like, these guys are fucking morons. So
I feel like they should have wrestling mats everywhere.
You think so, right?
I mean, it's like that one guy who got launched, like that guy's gonna be fucked up.
Yeah.
Holy shit. And then like the stuff they make, that stuff's not easy to make.
Yeah.
Like making a grenade inside of a pen. First of all, I mean, what if a kid gets a hold of that and blows himself up?
Yeah, it's MI6.
Right?
They don't give a shit about that. Come on.
That's true. They're British.
Oh.
That kid was a moron. He didn't read the fine print. Yeah, I don't know. I liked, I thought the movie was all right.
Yeah.
It was like medium good. I don't know. I mean, it's like if you compare it with like, I don't know. I think Austin Powers was a better movie, but that's just because it was funny and that's more my speed.
Well, and I think like Austin Powers knew what it was doing, and maybe, I mean, the Bond movie doesn't take itself too seriously, but it definitely takes itself more seriously than an Austin Powers movie. So like it plays off better, I think, when you're gonna do something goofy and then you don't take yourself as seriously when you're doing it, kind of thing. So
yeah. Well, Mike Myers is a fucking genius. I don't think people give him enough credit.
Yeah.
I really don't. I think they're all like, oh, Wayne's World was okay. Fuck that. It was a great movie.
It's fucking amazing.
Wayne's World is a fantastic movie. And that's sad they don't have a reunion movie of that one coming out.
Yeah, we need another one of those. We need I want an Austin Powers 4, just like one more would be great.
Where he's fat.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see, where he's fat and out of shape and he's running. He's like, oh fuck.
It'll be like
I
fucking
really let myself go. And I want to see Fat Bastard played by Rob Lowe or somebody. No, Chris Pratt.
He's just totally lost it, the weight and stuff, and
yeah, where
good.
He's like really in shape. If they could find some like Irish guy that looks kind of like Fat Bastard, or Scottish guy rather, and but he's got like a 6-pack and big muscles and shit. That would be so fucking funny. Watching that shit, because it'd be like, he'd be making fun of him. He could start calling Austin. They could figure out some kind of a nickname.
Isn't there a Scottish guy, MMA guy?
Well, there's an Irish one, Conor McGregor, but he's not a
Yeah.
very big dude. He's like, I don't know. He's probably my height. It seemed
Yeah.
like Fat Bastard was taller than that.
Yeah, he was a big dude.
I'm sure that there's definitely. Oh, I know there is, because that guy, the Hound.
Yeah.
Give him fucking red hair. He
There
could
you
do
go.
it.
That'd be fucking
Yeah,
hilarious.
give him makeup and red hair. He could definitely fucking do it.
Oh man.
That'd be fucking
great.
awesome watching that guy just go to town on fucking Mike Myers being fat.
Yeah.
And they could even get like Garth in there somehow. Somebody.
Oh man.
They could have, I love those kind of jokes where it's like, they're from, because like Wayne's World was full of that.
Yeah.
Where they had like the Terminate, like T1, the T1000 and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And they could do that, but like maybe even a Game of Thrones thing or a deal from like the Freddie Mercury show. I think that'd be great.
Oh man. It'd be
Just
pretty
watch
awesome.
him be fat and run around, and then have like women be like, I don't think so. And have like maybe even a part where some of the women like have Heather Graham show up and be like, you gave me all these diseases, and he's like, I didn't know.
Oh fuck. Yeah. All right. What rating did you give this?
I'd give this like 3.5 stars. Kelly gives it 3 stars.
I also gave it 3 stars. Next week's movie is Kelly's Choice. What do we got?
If we haven't done it, the original Overboard.
We have not done it.
I didn't think we have. I just wanted to make sure. I've seen it so many times since we started this. I kept thinking, I'm sure we've done it for this.
No, I have not watched it. I'll put original in a little thing here.
I gotta say, how the fuck is Pierce Brosnan not a more popular actor? Like, does he
I don't
just
know.
pick roles terribly or something? Because, like, I think at one point in time he would have been a great Roland. I mean, if he's a good actor. You look at him in Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah.
You
He's got a
know?
little bit of comedy in that one, and yeah.
Yeah.
He was
I
in
don't get it.
something. He's in that show, The Sun. He's in that. I think maybe he's just picky with what he chooses.
Maybe he's just not got a very good picker.
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck is he not in what the hell's that Irish show that we watched? Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you this, that I fully, what's the guy's name that plays the inspector in the first season?
Oh yes,
the
with
first
Sam something.
Yeah, Sam. Sam. Anyways, the first time I saw that guy, I was like, "Is that Pierce Brosnan?" Nope, not Pierce. Like just a split second, I was like, "Is that?"
Oh.
Nope, not him.
They definitely have. There's a little tiny resemblance.
Yeah.
there.
So
I mean, we haven't seen them standing next to each other.
true.
Maybe that's just Pierce Brosnan without his makeup.
I mean, there's still time for him to be in a Peaky Blinders season. Trying to think of what the fuck he would be. What have they done so far? Jeez, man. Fucking.
Oh, he could definitely be a British royalty guy. He could be. I mean, they're dealing with the Brits a lot.
Yeah.
So it'd be kind of nice to see like he's like a nobleman who's like some kind of a criminal, and then just
shady dude.
fucks over Tommy. Yeah.
Yeah, because
maybe comes
we're
and
in
just like beats the shit out of him.
Yeah, because I think we're in the depression right now in the series.
Yeah, because they just like the stock market just tanked.
Yeah,
in the
just
last
crashes and stuff. So.
And that stupid ass kid that he put in charge of all the money, like, really fucked everybody over.
I wonder if they're gonna do like a World War II season with some of that stuff. So maybe
shit.
they got to get back in. Maybe Brosnan can be like a shitty fucking general or something, or like because he was like, we'll say he's like some kind of royalty of some sort. He's a a lord or whatever. So obviously at that point he gets some kind of higher rank just because he's a higher, caste in the thing. And, maybe Tommy gets stuck under his fucking command or something like that, or his people do. And so you see some fucked up shit there. So
Fuck, for that matter, he could be a Nazi.
he could be.
I mean, holy shit, he'd be a creepy Nazi.
I mean, we've already dealt with, some of that shit too with that last season. With the the one guy.
Like, I was pretty surprised. I didn't remember it from school exactly. I knew that fascism was starting to become like a thing.
Yeah.
And what's nuts is like if you actually look into it on the internet, like lots of places had a lot of fascist stuff going on.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like Sweden, like everywhere, not just with Nazis, and it was like a real movement. And people, what's funny is like nowadays people just throw that word around and it doesn't really have like a very clear meaning, Like if you call somebody a fascist, it's more like a feeling or something. Like they just don't really get it.
Yeah.
And then you see what like real fascists are like, and it's like, I don't know if you should be calling that guy a fascist, bro. Like that's not what they do. There's nobody just showing up at your house, dragging you into a dark cave, and then just, taking fingers off and teeth out until you tell them until you confess to something that you did, which, I mean, the fucking KGB did that shit too.
Yeah.
And they don't get called fascist, even though like, I mean, I can't, it's hard to tell the difference with a whole bunch of it. They had this like, basically they're like super authoritarian.
Yeah.
I mean, and communist Russia was super authoritarian. Communist China, same thing. Same with North Korea. Then you got like Germany and Italy, like both lost their shit. And then I'm just glad that there isn't those kind of movements peaking out, really hardcore like they were. Luckily, everybody kind of staying away from that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather deal with like an anarchy state than that, because like at that point, nobody's going to show up and take your gun because there's no organization. So if you want to protect yourself, you don't have to like, protect yourself and then lie to a police officer so you don't get arrested for protecting yourself.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just weird. Like, why can't we all just be like, I want a 007 license?
you want a double O? You want a double O license?
Fucking M lady in front of me right now. I'll get a pass from Kelly. I'll go to town on that lady. She won't even know what happened to her. She'll have a rug burn on her crotch from my face, and then she'll give me that fucking license. And then I'll be running around with like just shooting people out of the side of my truck. Hey, I got a license. Fuck you.
I'm pretty sure M now is Ray Fiennes, so I mean,
I don't care.
There you go.
Get him down here.
You can
Free
get
license
fucking
to kill. Are you kidding me?
You can
I
go
could
after
change my name
Voldemort.
to Brock Sampson. They could give me some of that sweet British dope that makes you ripped. I mean, as if Jason Statham works out. No, he's on the super British dope. I want some of that. The super British testosterone dope. I want some of that. Wouldn't that be funny though? They just give you a shot and like the next day you have a 6-pack and the side effect is you're bald.
Did you watch Hobbs and Shaw?
No, not yet.
Okay. Yeah. Because Idris Elba is like super powered like that. So
yeah, but he's not even bald. I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of guys.
He's got an updated version of it, is why.
Well, yeah. I mean, what I'm saying is though, like, that would be funny because people. Like, if there was a drug that you could get a shot and you're always going to be ripped and have a 6-pack, but you lose all your hair, like you just are bald on the top of your head. I know people who'd rather be fat than lose their hair.
So, I mean, I could take it then and I'd be fine because I'm already fat and bald. So it would just give me the good parts and not the bad part because I already have the bad part.
Yeah. I mean, here's the other thing. What if it cured some of your other weird ailments? Like you didn't get motion sick anymore.
It just
and you could
stopped
eat,
all that stuff.
And you could just eat the greasiest shit ever.
You could just eat whatever the fuck I want. God, it'd be amazing. Where do I sign up, Eric?
Me
Where
too.
do I sign up?
Honestly, I'd be happy with Kelly wearing wigs if it worked on her too. Kelly running around with big fucking muscles, I could be like, Kelly, carry the firewood for me. I don't want to do it. She's over there just like, fine. Plus, I mean, although seeing her lose her beautiful hair would suck.
All right.
Could you imagine that? She's just like curling me.
God damn it. All right, that's going to be it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Follow us on Twitter at HAP Gaming. Follow me on Twitter at Turkadur. Follow Eric on Twitter at
Quick and Severe.
Follow Kelly on Twitter at Sugar Snuggles. Jason on Twitter at Unbelievable1. And Ricky on Twitter at Furry Twitter Balls. You can also email us at Steve, Eric, Kelly, Jason, and Ricky at hapgaming.com. Each one of those names individually at hapgaming.com. You can find all the stuff I've been saying in the description on youtube.com/Heroic Adventure Productions and twitch.tv/TurkaderPlays. That's going to be it, though. Thanks for watching. Join us next week Tuesday, Wednesday, as we play something. Not sure what it is. Probably Halo on one of those days. And then hopefully this time Jason doesn't fucking murder me every 5 seconds.
What was he doing last time?
Oh, he just fucking killed me constantly last time. I was pretty much fed up with it. Yeah,
That
so
sucks.
join us next week for that, 7:30 p.m. Pacific time on Tuesday and Wednesday. And also check out Happy Surprise coming out every Thursday. And my playthrough of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order every Friday. And if I can convince anybody to do it, if they have time, I would like to do some kind of video game news show thing, especially right now with all the gaming news coming out right now as we speak. So,
yeah, I could do that if it's sometime when I'm like awake and everything.
Yeah, that's the issue.
So we'll just have to figure that out.
Yeah, so that's gonna be it, guys. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll talk to you guys next week.